Hello. I would like to thank you for taking the time out to listen to my presentation. This is a presentation on evolution and climate change, and the topic I chose was the effects of climate on immunity and the emergence and reemergence of virulent pathogens. The journal that this article was from is the Elsevier Journal. The name of the article is Immunity and the Emergence of Virulent Pathogens, written by Gabriel Sorkai, Stéphane Cornet, Bruno Fabrier, and I'm sorry if I butchered their names. They're all Frenchmen, so it was kind of hard to pronounce them. So the two main points we're going to cover is one, pollution and the effects that it has on the climate, which has a direct effect on our immune system because we pretty much breathe in every pollutant that comes in from the pollution, and that has a direct effect on how pathogens are able to, in a sense, easier for them to take over in our bodies. The second main point we're going to talk about is the cycle of air pollution and climate change and how it causes greenhouse gases to increase temperature, and at high temperatures pathogens are able to live longer. At the same time, like again, breaking down our immune systems, and they're able to replicate and multiply faster and live longer. The hypothesis of this article is that the host immune system is one factor that drives the emergence of pathogens and shape their evolution. The methodology is a closer look at the immunity response, and this diagram basically shows the factors of which are part of global warming, which is temperature rise, and UVB radiations, in which is kind of what we're going to be looking more into. And the factors that start those are air pollution and the immune suppressions. So with air pollution, you have inflammatory and respiratory diseases, but we're going to be looking at pathogens and how they have a adverse effect on our immune system without vaccinations and infectious diseases already present, which our immune system is already immune to and can overcome. But okay, so we already know how climate change has a pretty adverse effect on our immune system. Us breathing in certain types of metals weakens the immune system. Most pollution is going to weaken your immune system, causing you to get sicker faster, which gives the a pathogen a chance to replicate faster, easier, easier host, weaken the host until basically the host is pretty much dead. But first, I'm going to give you a background on immunity and your immune system. Your immune system is the body's natural defense. Is the first to take care of any foreign pathogen that comes to your body. In reality, your immune system is the most environmental factor for pathogens have to cope with. So it has to get past your immune system to even survive in most cases. Here's a little background of virulent pathogens. For those who know what virulent means, it's defined as the damage suffered from the host upon infection. So in a more understanding sense, it's the effects of an outside pathogen has on the host organism well-being, like how sick does it get you. It's usually measured by the host survival or mortality rate. But when the host dies, so does the infection. So virulence is a maladaptive trait for pathogens, and it has an effect on their multiplication and reproduction rates also. So in this article, they performed a pretty. So in this article, they highlighted an experiment done on two mice um, by extracting them by injecting them with the CVB3 virus. But again, pathogens depend on multiplication and reproduction to be effective. So by producing large numbers of the propagules, the pathogen had more opportunity to be effective inside of a host organism. And in the experiment, they had a control, which was a mice that had no aid of vaccination, and a mouse that had vaccination, of course. And they basically, over time, seeing if the pathogen would overcome the vaccine and become a more, in a sense, more potent pathogen, a stronger pathogen, a more deadlier pathogen, or would it just completely just die off from the vaccination? The article concluded that over time from climate change, the host immune system causes pathogens to evolve and causing more strains that cannot be removed by our immune system without aid of like vaccination or just any outside aid to get rid of the pathogens. So the results were the pathogens from the vaccinated aided mice was then extracted from them and put into a another mice that had no aid, and the pathogens came off to be way stronger, killed off the mice 10 times faster, and its multiplication and reproduction rate, which is its virulence again, was 10 times higher. So, my proposed research project would be what evolutionary aspect would pathogens have to human-made vaccines, and how would the immune system react to stronger pathogens and vaccines. And here are some methods that I think would help see if pathogens do evolve due to vaccines and the human immune system, by collecting a sample of a particular virus strain and injecting it into a couple specimens, one vaccinated specimen and one without vaccine. Collect the data and then, in a sense, redo all the methods again and see if the virus strain from the vaccinated organism was able to overcome the vaccine and become stronger, in a sense, evolve and become immune to the vaccine itself, or just dies off and not be able to evolve or overcome the vaccine. So my hypothesis is that the pathogens will evolve and the strain will initially be contained by the vaccine, but eventually will overcome the vaccine and have an even worse effect, have a even worse strain of the virus initially, because the vaccine, they become immune to the vaccine. That means they're stronger. They probably can multiply and reproduce faster, attack our cells faster, and pretty much have a bad influence on our immune system and our bodies. And the conclusion and results could go two ways. I got a positive result, and the vaccine treatment failed, showing a stronger strain of the virus in the second host. Or I can have a negative result to where the virus strain is contained by the vaccine and builds no immunity to it. So basically, the virus never evolves for the vaccine and it's just completely killed off. And this is pretty much a big deal because some vaccines can outdo current vaccines and cause increased mortality rate. It can cause people to die faster, just like the Ebola virus. The Ebola virus was first discovered in 1976 and was thought to be contained, but its current vaccinations it overcame. So it has like a stronger strain of virus now, which can kill somebody from inside out in 12 days. And this can have basically an evolutionary takeover of viruses. We evolve, our immune system evolves, but viruses, some viruses cannot be killed by vaccines or human-made objects, and we need a stronger immune system, in a sense, to at least stop these viruses from initially taking over our bodies. And it's a big deal just to know, like, pollution that we make ourselves just is driving for our immune system to not be able to handle those big jobs of vaccinated pathogens that cannot be vaccinated no more. In a sense, they completely over vaccination. They take over the vaccination. They evolve from the vaccination. So we need to do better with pollution. And that is my presentation. I hope that this was very informative on the evolutionary aspect of pathogens and the climate change, the pollution, and how that deals with our immune system and breaking down our immune system. and I hope that you enjoyed it and it wasn't too boring. Thank you.